Welcome to the Skylab Command Center guide on creating groups. We typically create groups on the apps themselves, but if you wanted to create groups on the Home Center, you would go to the left-hand side over here, and then you would go to App Manager, and then you would go to Groups. Be aware that there is a platform settings here, and there's also a group inside platform settings and then feature settings. Inside this settings for groups, this one allows you to allow users or disallow users to create groups, enable banners inside the groups, etc. So this one is just for the general settings for the group feature as a whole. Whereas if I go to App Manager Groups, this is where I have the ability to access already existing groups and edit those, create new groups, or adjust the filters and add different groups to filters. So if I wanted to create a group from the back end, I would simply hit create. I would type in the name, the tagline. I would quickly upload an image from my computer. I can select the category that I want it to be in. I would select the email address if I want to associate an email address, phone number, or address. This is where I would do any of that, the date that it was created. I can decide whether it's public, which means anybody can see it and have access to it. Private means that users can see it, but they have to request to be added, or I can make it secret. If I make it secret, then only users that I specifically invite will be able to access it, or I can simply add a code, and anybody with the code can automatically join. Flags is not something you want to add when you're creating groups. This means that the content is flagged as inappropriate for the app, and it will go into moderation for review. So we're not going to change the flag settings. About the group, this is where you can add your hashtag so that it will the filter inside the different hashtags when selected. If you scroll down, you can enable all these different features on your app. We typically suggest you do chat, posting, enable flagging, and followers for all groups. And then these are kind of on a group-by-group basis on whether you want users to feel like they are competing against each other using the recognition widget and enabling ads, of course. And when I scroll up, I would then hit create once I've made all of my selections and changes. But for now, I'm going to hit the back button. And then once a group is created, I have a few different settings. So I'm going to open up Cowboys Fan Club to show you some of the differences in settings. Notice that these are very similar. I can make a lot of the same changes that I just showed you. But as I scroll down, you'll see that there's a new added section for Group Menu More. I can add different action items so that users can access camera library, etc. for posting. They can access different highlights from your app, different features, so you can send them to a specific channel, and you can even do external links for your users inside this group. For now, I'm going to leave that turned off and scroll down. You can see that the app owner is Jacob. I could change this or add an admin, and if I scroll down, I can add members down here as well. And that's how you would adjust a single group. Now, in order for that group to appear to users on the app, I may want to come over here to the filters and manually add it. If I don't manually add it, it will show up in different algorithm groups such as just created. But maybe I want it to show up inside trending. I would simply hit the drop down for trending, hit add group, and I would find the group I want to add and simply select this add button on the right-hand side. Once you have added your groups to the different filters that you want them to be inside, you would then come up here and hit save. Once it is completely saved, you would then hit publish. And that is the groups setting on the Skylab Hub. I highly recommend you kind of play around with this. Maybe create a group or two, see what the difference is in creating it on an app versus creating it on the command center, and then add some of those action items just to get that experience.